Hi, I'm Jeremy, and today I want to help people who have a continuous improvement role or mindset in their work understand what robotic process automation is and how to see it and how to get your arms around it when you do. Now, RPA is a very hot topic in many industries these days, but I've found that if you haven't yet been engaged in identifying or building or implementing a bot in your work or as part of your continuous improvement role, you might not have a crisp idea about what it even is and how it works. In my experiences, we approach RPA as a natural extension of continuous improvement work, and I'll attempt to illustrate that in this and in subsequent videos. Now, this is not a technical discussion about automation. In fact, it is intentionally non-technical to achieve the purpose I just mentioned about the intersection of RPA and CI work. So if you are technically minded, please forgive any simplification I use when describing the RPA experience from a continuous improvement lens. So first off, what is RPA? Robotic Process Automation, or bots, are simply digital assistants. Sometimes I even describe them as like digital interns or sidekicks. These digital assistants live and operate in our computer systems and are intentionally built to perform repetitive and structured and standardized work on our computers. They can do this work across multiple and various computer applications. So think about all of the different software and websites that you interact with on your computer to do your work. They can live across those spaces. They can also pull and remember data from databases and enter that into other locations. They can navigate websites and web portals, places with logins. They can read screens and sometimes even read scanned paper forms to pull out specific information. They can perform calculations or collect information from a human worker in a very collaborative kind of way. They can make basic decisions if they're programmed to, and a number of other common tasks. In a moment, I'll talk about a number of instances that generate great automation opportunities, but for now, let's just keep an open mind to what's possible and remember that a bot's focus and their greatest area of success is to assist in computer-based work that is structured and standardized. Now, automation opportunities are everywhere, so let's talk about when and where to consider it. From a CI perspective, we should think of automation as a countermeasure to a problem, or as an opportunity to capitalize on great standardization work. For example, I'm going to pick on a handful of the 8 wastes where I think automation shines the brightest. So as a countermeasure, automation addresses some of these wastes. First and foremost, underutilized human talent, and this is really a great one. So think for a moment, where do you have people spending time at a computer performing routine and tedious tasks that don't take advantage of their talents, skills, and experience? Oftentimes, this looks like copy and paste work where you're moving data and information from one place to another, or performing some kind of routine data entry. This is definitely necessary but low cognitive work, and is often a highly beneficial opportunity for automation and frees your people up to do more of that high value added work that energizes them. Another one is inventory. So think for a moment, is there a backlog of volume sitting in a queue somewhere that can't be tamed with the existing staff, or an unplanned spike in volume that you don't have resources for? And again, this would be in a computer-based work queue. These volumes and this backlog can be caused by all sorts of things. Maybe there's an upstream process change that generated a downstream effect on you or your team. Or maybe there's some legislation change that requires you to send in data or reports that you didn't have to do before. Or maybe you're part of a merger or an acquisition and now you have to copy a bunch of data between 2 different databases to get all the companies thinking and operating the same way. Or simply, maybe there's a staffing shortage, and this is prevalent everywhere these days, and that shortage prevents you from keeping up with the volume of computer-based work that you've got. Bots could be employed in this space to expand your team's capacity to handle this work by taking all of it, or at least the easier slice of this work, away. Which brings me to an important point. To be successful, the bot doesn't have to be able to do all of it. Again, just like having a new intern, maybe you could slice off a piece that's really straightforward, hand that over to a bot, and retain the rest for a more tenured person. Passing off some of it is better than none. Another waste, searching or motion. In order to make decisions or take an action, do you have to source information from various places or websites or databases and pull it all together in one view to have the information you need to inform that decision or that action? How efficient is it for you today to navigate to all these places and add up all those parts and pieces to tell that story that you depend on for that decision or that action? This could be an opportunity for a bot to run out and pull all that together for you, letting you just focus on the decision. And next is defects. Sometimes computer-based processes have a lot of small steps that need to be remembered and taken in a certain order. And these might be ripe for error. Where do you commonly have rework to correct computer processing mistakes? Or where do you have the risk of error that requires a person to slowly and methodically go through their steps to prevent a mistake? A bot could potentially be trained to assist in this work mistake-free. Sometimes these wastes can be solved with good old-fashioned process improvement. I know that as well as anyone, but sometimes also a bot is the right answer. Oftentimes, however, your CI specialist should examine the process, remove as much waste as possible, standardize it, and then consider what's left for automation, because bots really work best on well-standardized processes. Okay, so this was a very simple primer on RPA, what it is and where to start to look for opportunities using this continuous improvement lens. Subscribe to stay connected on more videos about RPA and CI work, and leave a comment to engage in a conversation with me about it. Thank you. Until next time.